Worked really hard, and Marie too. Thank you so much. So a lot of fun here today, as you can tell. I know we got in a bit of a controversy last year because we did not have a pee break in this particular session. So I just want to let you know we will make time for a few minutes for said pee break, especially knowing that Mr. Tamblyn is coming up for a few minutes. But I'm not saying anything, Brian. Very important messages coming up. By the way, speaking of, please welcome Angela Lockridge. She is the VP of HR and Planning from Georgian College. Angela.
Good morning. I just want to welcome everyone here, and in a moment we're going to invite Brian up to make his opening comments, but first we had one order of very serious business that we needed to cover. Each year, the Association of Canadian Community Colleges, or ACCC as it's commonly known, hosts an annual conference that draws the top executive of colleges from across the country. This year, the conference was held in Halifax in May along with the Congress of Royal Federation of Colleges and Polytechnics. At its annual conference, on behalf of the President's Leadership Network, it's a tradition for ACCC to honor an individual with its Distinguished Service Award in recognition of exceptional service and outstanding contributions to Canadian colleges at a local, regional, and national level. And I'm delighted and proud to say that our own President and CEO, Brian Tamblyn, was presented with the 2012 ACCC Award for Distinguished Service last month in the presence of educational leaders from more than 50 countries around the world. In recognizing Brian for his 30 years of leadership in post-secondary education in Canada, India, Asia, and the Middle East, the President and CEO of ACCC, James Knight, said, "The status and success of colleges today is testimony to Brian's vision and work. He will be greatly missed among our post-secondary community." Brian has been so generous with his recognition of others over the course of his career. It's wonderful that we now have the opportunity to formally recognize his significant accomplishments during his career at Georgian. Brian, as I invite you to come forward for your opening remarks, please accept our heartfelt congratulations on your prestigious and well-deserved award. Thank you.
He's going to turn it on upstairs. Okay, thank you. Well, thank you, Angela, for those kind words. And I love that video of the staff, and I loved Rob, most of all, standing in the Tim Hortons line yawning. What was that one last year that we did with at the Teaching and Learning Conference where we had a skeleton standing at the end of the line? You know? Well, we've sped things up, haven't we, Brandon? We've sped things up. We opened up a second outlet and things are much better. Oh, there's some people who don't agree with that. Well, you know, this is Georgian Day, and this is our 12th Georgian Day, and I'm just finishing my 13th year as president. And usually at this I go over all our great accomplishments, you know, and whatever else I blabber on about. But I will touch on a couple of those things. But I mostly just want to thank people, and I want to do that. And I hope to see a lot of you at 4 o'clock. And there's also a dinner on June 20th, and you'll actually get a real speech at that one, but it costs money. So, but I hope to see a lot of you today after Georgian Day. So you know, the past year was a really memorable one for me, And we had a lot of great accomplishments. Our enrollment was record high, of course. We opened a lot of buildings, actually. And, you know, we did the Center for Health and Wellness, and one that I'm really proud of, I'm proud of that one, but I'm proud of the John DePoche South Georgian Bay campus as well. I was up there yesterday, and the County of Simcoe announced a $500,000 donation towards that project. We also did a cenotaph as well, which really helps to finish off the campus, I think, and I want to recognize Monica Trickett-Gainsworth and even Bob Kennedy for their leadership in making that happen. And then we also, you know, I can't remember all the resident stuff we've done, but anyways, I know one opened in Barrie, just down the street, and just a couple days ago we had the sod turning for one that's under construction, will be under construction in Aurelia for next year as well. And of course, I want to acknowledge, I guess, SAC and their great project that's going to open in a few weeks, an expansion of the last class. So it was kind of a busy year with all that going on. And even financially, we haven't really said much about this to you, but it's actually good news, which I'm not used to doing. But, you know, we had a big deficit that we knew we would improve on it, but it didn't look like there was any way we could overcome it. And we did end the year with a very small surplus, actually. So on a $170 million budget, it was basically break even. And the good news for that is, the result of that is that, you know, our reserves are at a record high. They're over $11 million. And that's important for you to know, because as we look out the next 3 years in particular, there's not a lot of government money coming. And in fact, they're actually taking some away from us. So you know, the college is going to have to adapt and change. But the good news is that, you know, we see it drawing down, I guess, Brandon, getting painfully close to zero in about 3 years' time. And that's with, you know, bringing in more money and doing things more efficiently. But the good news is it's at a record high at a time that we need it the most. So thank you to everybody. And we also received a few awards that I think were pretty significant. We were selected for the 5th time in the last 11 years. Now, we announced it as 10 years. The senior team is numerically challenged, and it was actually 11. I counted. But it's the 5th time we've been the only college in Canada selected, which is really amazing. And then we hit the 3rd year in a row for the top greenest employer award. And yeah. I want to thank Diane Corrigan and the physical resource staff, even Brandon Lander, and our environmental faculty and everybody, and really everyone across the college. It's amazing what we've accomplished in the last 3 years, but what's exciting is there's a lot more that can be done, and I know will be done in the years ahead. And then the one I really love, and you haven't heard a lot about it, but it was in staff news, the international survey of student satisfaction for international students. Does everybody know about this? And you know, they surveyed over 230,000 students in 16 countries, over 200 institutions, and Georgian came out #1. So thank you. So anyway, I could go on and on, but anyway, that gives you a sense of what happened in the last year. It was a great way for me to sort of end a long career here. So I want to thank a few people, if I could, and First of all, I want to start off by thanking my wife, Lisa. And, you know, when you're a president, you know, I'm at least probably 4 nights a week, you know, weekdays and weekends, and it takes, it really is a kind of a family thing. And Lisa's done a lot to help the college with fundraising and special events and other things like that. But I would guess that Lisa's probably been at probably 75% of all these extra, or they're not extra, they're part of my job, but the things I do that you would never see. And Lisa's been at those things, so I just want to thank Lisa for all her support. And I want to thank, is anybody here from the Board of Governors other than the internal types? Oh, there, DJ put her hand up. Okay, DJ. Is Steve Junkin here? Steve, Terry, I told him. Terry's here. Yeah, there's Terry. And is Sean McCracken here on the student side? I thought Sean might be here. Anyways, but my 13 years, I've had great Board of Governors, and even the internal governors are basically volunteering their time, and the external governors have all been terrific. And you know, as we operate sort of inside of a college, you don't always see the things that they're doing, but all the great projects that we've done, all the objectives that we kind of set each year, that's all from the Board of Governors. And I've watched boards all across the country, and we've been very fortunate here at Georgian. So I want to thank the Board of Governors. I want to thank, we have a lot of volunteers in the college, and I haven't counted them, but I'm guessing we have well over 700 volunteers. A lot of them are kind of corporate leaders, and whether it's the Anishinaabe and Education Training Circle or the Automotive Business School of Canada, I'm still working on that one. You know, their board of directors, the alumni board of directors, all the program advisory committees, all the community advisory committees, and it just goes on and on. And that's one way that we connect, I think, better than any institution in the country with our various communities. So I just want to acknowledge all of them. And I want to acknowledge the wonderful senior teams that I've worked with over the years. And the current group is an amazingly talented and experienced group of vice presidents. And the joke, well, it's not really a joke. What they always say is, Brian, we know our job is to make you look good. And, you know, as a former vice president, I know that's true. So I thank you. And I want to thank them. And I want to recognize one in particular, and that's Bob Kennedy. And Bob's going to be retiring a week after me. I thought he'd go the same day, but anyways, he's going a week after. And as Jamie mentioned, Bob's been with the college 22 years, but I've worked directly with Bob for the last 15 years, and you know, Bob and I'll stay connected after anyways, but if I was staying, the thing I'll miss the most, you know, was Bob's laughter in the hallway. So anyway, I just want to wish Bob all the best in his retirement. And I want to thank the people who have been in my office over the years, Brenda Webb, Belinda Marcellus, Heather Baird, Trish, Jan. Oh yeah, Jan was in there just for a little bit. Jan was there for a little bit, but you know, every time, I can't remember, I think when I started in HR, Jan was going to report to me, and then after about a month she left, and I think the same thing happened with the board, but I'm not taking it personally. But that's right. But no, that's right, Jan, thank you. And she keeps running to Brandon, I don't know why. And Jan, and I want to thank really my right hand, Lori. And see, she helps me out even when even when I'm going through names. And Lori is the executive assistant to the Board of Governors and to the President's office. And all of those people, unless you work in that office, you really can't, you know, I was a vice president. I didn't fully appreciate what was involved in being a president until I got there. That was too late. But anyways, you know, nothing would happen with all of their support. So I want to thank them. Two other groups I want to mention, the Student Administrative Councils. Again, when you go across Canada, as staff, you may not appreciate this, the students do. The relationship we have with students here at Georgian is really pretty well unique, certainly in the province, but even in most of the country. And, you know, I look at the last class and just the way we work so well together. We try to listen very carefully to our student leaders. I think they listen to us as much as they can as well. And it's just a great relationship. And you know, you think of that building with the last class, once that's done, the student government on their own have put in over $12 million into that building. And that's pretty amazing for a college our size. And then lastly, most importantly, I want to thank all of you. And you know, I've said this before, but when you think of what is Georgian College, it's, you know, I guess it's bricks and mortar and things like that. But every college, every university has bricks and mortar. And what makes this one of the best in the country is you. And whether, you know, it's the support staff on the front lines who are dealing with students in the community every day and helping so many thousands of people, or it's the faculty who are, you know, really helping our students' dreams come true, whether it be more academic studies or going on to work, or the administrators who are dealing with day-to-day challenges, but also trying to work on creating the future for the college. And really, I just want to thank the support staff, the faculty, and the administration for the great work that you do. And I talk to literally thousands of students a year. If it's not a convocation, I grab them in the hall. And I can tell you, almost without exception, they love coming to Georgian, and it's not because of the bricks and mortar or the equipment or whatever, it's because of you. So again, I just want to thank all of you. And then I guess I'll just close. You might wonder, well, two things. I'm going to take a bit of a break, hopefully for 6 months or so, and then I'm sure I will do something. I'm going to figure out what I want to do. I have lots of opportunities, but what should I do? When I grow up, yeah, when I grow up. And but I'm hoping it'll be a few less hours than what goes into the president's job here. And so that's what we'll be doing. Lisa and I'll be traveling, and our son Evan is, I think, going to be going to school in September in Wales with one of our transfer agreements we have, you know. And so he goes for, I think, 8 months, and will graduate with his honors degree in marketing. And I just love all the opportunities that our students have today around the world. And you're going to see a lot more of that even within Ontario in the next few years as well. So I'm excited about that. So that's what I'm doing. But you might wonder about the new president as well. And Mary Lynn, although I wasn't involved in the search at all, I do know Mary Lynn. I've known Mary Lynn for probably about 20 years. And she was president at Mohawk College for 5 years. She was She started in marketing actually at Durham, maybe 25 years ago or so. And she was a VP academic there. Then she went to Mohawk for 5 years, and for family reasons, didn't renew her contract, and it just so happened there was a vice president position at UOIT, the university in Oshawa, and she went to that, and that worked out better for various family reasons. So that contract is now just coming to an end, and my departure was very good timing for she and her family. And I know in talking to her, she's planning on relocating, probably to Barrie. I'm trying to sell her on a beautiful house in Brilliant. Anyway, she hasn't been on that yet. But all I can say about Mary Lynn is that I know the board was really looking hard, and I should say, from what I understand, it was the toughest, I heard this from the search consultant, it was the toughest competition that she had ever seen in her long career. So Georgian attracted a lot of amazing people to the competition, and so kudos to Mary Lynn for being the successful candidate. But what I will say, I know the board was very concerned and focused on hiring somebody who would continue with Georgian's unique culture, which is, to me, very much trying to be respectful of each other and really focused on individual students. And I can guarantee you that Mary Lynn is a terrific choice for that. And I can guarantee you that you'll all really enjoy her. So she's going to start August 7th. I'll be meeting with her before then, the end of June and into July. And I'll fully brief her, and I'll say lots of nice things about you. So anyways, again, thank you for a wonderful 30 years. I hope to see a lot of you at 4 o'clock, and enjoy Georgian Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a great afternoon coming up for Georgian Day 2012. But to send you out, please welcome the Georgian Day Vaughan Trap Singers.